Hey there, Games Workshop fans. James here from Games Workshop Morningside Plaza down in Fullerton, California. And today I have a product demo of the Agrellan Earth Special Effects Paint. A lot of people have been asking me questions pertaining to how do they get the exact crackle effect that they're looking for, and how would they do something like a lava base where the earth is coming off and you can kind of see the lava flowing underneath it. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to paint 4 bases, kind of the 4 different ways of applicating the Agrellan Earth, and you'll be able to see up close and personal exactly how this works. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so what you're looking at right here is my Bloodthirster standing on a crackled lava base. What this is 4 steps. The first one is to do an undercoat of whatever lava combination effect that you like, some mixture of reds, oranges, and yellows. The second step is to put a heavy dosage of Agrellan Earth over the top of it so that it can create the crackle effect. And then the third step is to simply paint it black so that it looks like volcanic soil. And then in order to get that glossy finish that makes it look like it's been smoldering and is hot with heat, just do a simple layer of the Ard Coat technical paint. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to paint 4 bases today. Going from right to left, we're going to paint one base lightly and kind of what I would call the wrong way to paint Agrellan Earth. The next one we're going to paint a base nominally, so kind of to get the recommended effect. And then these last 2 bases we're going to paint with a heavy dose so you can actually see what's under them. The reason why we're painting 2 is because you'll be able to see one with a non-painted undercoat beneath it, and then one with a painted undercoat beneath it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the first one we're going to do is the light base, or the wrong way to do it. Alright, so as always, when you're using a paint, make sure you mix it up. I'm not going to shake it too much, obviously, because I'm on camera, but make sure you do it a little bit more vigorously than that. After you've opened it, just be very careful in the way you take it out. You don't want to get too much drippage. But a lot of people, their tendency, especially with working with paint, of this kind is to kind of just do it nice and lightly and not put much on there, you know, almost being still see-through. If you do this with the Agrellan Earth, it won't have enough paint to form the cracks. The cracks only form when the paint is in contact with itself. So if there's not much of itself there to touch, it's not going to make any cracks. So many people, including me the first time I used this, thought that this was good enough, that would form a bunch of cracking. It's going to provide very minuscule, if any, cracking. So this is the wrong way to do it. And then with the Agrellan Earth, as well as all the technical paints, make sure you don't water it down. If you do water it down, it'll mess with the properties and it'll make the issue of not cracking even worse. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next one is kind of the proper way to do it. Now, this is the way it was designed to be used. You're going to get a moderate cracking, and it's going to look realistic. It's going to look as if you were going over a desert flat or something of that nature. The interesting thing about this is once it hardens, you can paint it any color you want. So if you wanted to use this effect for more than just mud and basing, you could also use it to do paint chipping on Chaos Space Marines or just normal Space Marines, vehicles, things like that. Now the key to doing this is to kind of make sure, especially on a base, that you can't see any of the black. Now brown's a very opaque paint, so that's really easy to achieve, but just kind of double check yourself and make sure you're getting a nice even coat on there. And as you can see, I've been very liberal with just dipping in and spreading more on. Do not be afraid to kind of be a little bit sloppy, because that'll make it look almost that much more realistic. So as you can see, the difference between this one and the last one, there's just a little bit more on there, and you can't see any of the underbase. Alright, so the last 2 we're going to do is kind of the heavy dosage to create the really, really thick crackle effect. Now, This was mentioned in the great video that GW headquarters put out, but if you want a really big crackle, you have to put a ton of paint on. So when I take my brush, I'm going to get a big glob, as much as I can on here. All right, and I'm just gonna almost spin my brush around so that all of the excess that I've just scooped out of the paint pot just lays on the base. At this point, you're not so much painting with a brush as you are scooping it and layering it onto whatever surface you're trying to go for. Now, the other thing to remember about this is the more you put on, the longer it's going to take to dry. And just because the top looks dry doesn't mean that the bottom is dry. And if you try to mess with it too soon, or if you try to paint over it too soon, you can really mess up your base and you'll have to start all over from scratch. The first time I was painting my lava bases with my Chaos Knights, that's exactly what I did. I was impatient, I jumped into there way too fast, and I had to end up repainting all of them from scratch, all 4 layers. So be patient, give it time to dry. Go play a game, or if the best thing would be just to let it sit overnight. But yeah. So as you can see with this, you can actually see lumps. You can actually see it raised up a little bit there. That's what you want. All right. Now, real quick before I start with this lava one, I'm pretty much done with my lava paint. There's nothing more that I have to add to this undercoat. So that's what you want. All right. Before you put the Agrellan on, you have to be done with whatever you want under it. There's almost no room to go back and kind of fix your mistakes, as it were. All right. So as you can see, still scooping. I like to kind of roll it off, get a big scoop on there, and then just twirl the paintbrush in between my fingers and kind of roll it off, almost letting the paintbrush spread it around just by its width, and then just kind of go in a little grid that's spaced by the paintbrush width. As you can see, it's also a time-consuming process putting this much paint on. It's definitely not something for somebody who wants to get done, like 60 bases really fast. But if you do it the right way and you have a lot of patience, it can be really rewarding. Just like pretty much any painting that you'll do with our miniatures. Alright, almost done here. Make sure you cover it up fully. Don't leave any space unturned, because when you put the top layer on for the lava, which would be the black for the volcanic soil, you don't want any of it to spill kind of into your lava effect. Alright, so as you can see here, there's plenty on both of these bases. They're both raised up, and if anything, I'm actually going to put a little bit more on just to be sure I'm going to get enough of a crackle. You don't want to see any of the texture of the base below. A really neat trick, because all of the Games Workshop bases have a little bit of pre-sculpted texture. If you can see that texture showing through the paint, the little bumps, you haven't put enough on, so you're going to need to put a little bit more. Alright, so we're going to let these dry, and then we'll come back. Alright guys, so now that they're dried, let's just take a look at the 4 ones that we did and just kind of see what the difference is between them. Alright, so this is number 1. This is the one, if you remember correctly, was the way to not do it. Alright, as you can see, there is almost no cracking in it, and you can see right through to the base. This is not what you want the Agrellan Earth for. It's pretty much just a shade of brown at this point. Alright. This is the one that's done the recommended way. You can see that there's tiny cracks here, and here. And that'll give it an actual really nice texture. And you'll be able to kind of get that mud flat look that a lot of people seem to enjoy. After 2.5 hours of drying, our control, lots of Agrellan Earth, undercoated black, is still not dry. But if you look on the sides here, you can see where it is dry, and you have these huge particles which you can just easily tear off. All right. And now looking at our red one, you can see the red shining through here in the cracks. And if you just start flicking this away, you can see the red start to come out. So you can do this with your nail, or you can do this with a hobby knife, but it creates a really cool effect. Again, if you want it to look like lava, just go ahead and paint it black. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our quick little Agrellan Earth tutorial. If you need any more help, feel free to come into our store. That's Morningside Plaza in Fullerton, California, 1018 East Bastanchury Road. My name is James. I'm the only manager here, so I will be happy and eager to help you with whatever your needs are. And I'm sure you can go into any of our stores and have this exact same question answered. If you ever have trouble locating one of our stores, you can go to www.games-workshop.com and use the store locator button to find the closest store to you or wherever you may be headed. If you are coming in, be on the lookout for a Tyranid release soon, and hopefully once those boxes are out, we may be able to do a little bit of an unboxing video for you guys. Alright, again, my name's James. Please like our Facebook page, subscribe, all of that fantastic stuff, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a nice day.